Rush in the studio as Sonia Saul prepares to take the most important shot of the game.
Hello and welcome to Bad Influence. On today's show, a load of balls. We'll be looking at attempts to make virtual reality versions of pool and snooker.
And it took the crew 4 hours to set up those balls in exactly the right position. Later on, our special guest, Fiona Dolman from the new fighter pilot drama Strike Force, will try out the amazing flight sim EF2000.
That's another 20 pence you owe me, Andy.
All right.
We've got a great competition prize today. The world's first super handheld virtual boy, complete with some games.
And I'll be on the planet Solaris 7, taking part in a new team sport that's connecting up America.
This is the newest type of pool table. The L shape in the extra pocket changes the way you play the game, but the rules are the same as normal pool. Oh, shame. Pool started to become really popular in the 70s, mainly because it's easier to fit one of these tables into a bar or club than a gigantic snooker table.
But if pool tables are still too big for your game room, there's always computerised pool. This is one of the first games ever for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It's called Pool. It was released in 1982 and used a top view of the table because it made it easier to calculate the position of the balls, but it wasn't very realistic and it just didn't catch on.
Faster computers like the Atari ST here led to better pool games. This is 3D pool, the first attempt at a pool game with a real player's view. The ball motion still wasn't very realistic. Not too surprising because the balls are a bit jagged. Also, calculating how each ball moves takes loads of computer power, which meant the balls jerk around rather than roll.
The first game that got it right was Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker for the Atari ST and Amiga. It was the first real snooker simulator. Crafty programming tricks gave it all the elements of real play. You even had to chalk your cue to play a trick shot. And speaking of cues, cue Sonia.
Thanks, Andy. This is the state-of-the-art computer pool simulator, virtual pool on the PC CD-ROM. The game allows you to look at the table from anywhere in the virtual pool room. The motion of the balls was modelled by NASA scientists and is very realistic, and the game comes with an animated history of pool, playing tips and a truckload of trick shots. You use the mouse in the same way that you'd use a cue. Just pull it back and push it forward to hit the shot. The harder you move the mouse, the more powerful the shot. So Fiona, you've been playing on this for a while. What do you think of it?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's a great game. The best thing about it is that you can do these trick shots.
Right.
See, watch this.
Oh, very impressive. So I suppose you do prefer this to the real game?
Most definitely, I think, yes.
Yeah, but it takes a lot to beat the clicking of the balls, the feeling of the baize underneath your fingers, the ecstasy of putting that 8-ball and the agony of giving your money to Sonia every time you lose. Our main review this week is the new PC game Command & Conquer. It's set in the traditional bleak future, the world's remaining superpowers battling it out for control of Tiberium, a vital new mineral. You choose to fight for either the goody-goody Global Defense Initiative or the nasty Brotherhood of Nod, then begin the task of wiping your enemies from the face of the Earth. Initially, you're equipped with a few tanks and a small amount of troops, but as more missions are completed, an arsenal of exotic weapons becomes available. Everything can be controlled by simple point and click, ensuring that your commands are speedily carried out. With detailed graphics, real-time action and a chance to play the baddies, could Command & Conquer at last be a war game that isn't boring? Here's Sahel.
This is not your typical war game. It's not just mindless shooting. You need to use a lot of strategy to play it properly. I'm in the middle of a game here, and the tanks I've just selected I've decided to send south to collect that bonus crate. Up in the north here, the guys in red, who are the opposition, are invading my Tiberium fields, so I have to destroy those. Here I'm going to build a barracks, but I'm not sure where I should place it at the moment. I think I'll put it next to that construction site. Once you've actually built your barracks, it enables you to get more men and train them up to do what you want them to do. There's all sorts of different soldiers. I think I'll choose a grenadier. He's almost done now, and there he is, ready to be sent into battle.
Unit lost.
I've just selected my units to protect my base, which is under attack by the Red Army there. They've got tanks and rocket launchers, whereas I've only got a few foot soldiers, a couple of rocket launchers and a motorbike. So to be honest, it doesn't look too hopeful from where I'm standing. This is where the strategy element of the game comes into play. You can control your units individually or as a group, which is good so you can focus your attacks. The best thing about this game is the two-player option. The only snag is you need a friend who's got a copy of the game and a PC. At first the action may seem a little slow and the terrain a little daunting, but it's definitely one worth sticking with. Once you're into the gameplay, you just won't want to put it down.
I could sit and play this for hours. It just feels like you're conquering the world. It was so engrossing. It's a really good game.
The graphics and soundtrack are excellent. The gameplay is really challenging, and overall, it's an excellent war game.
And the scores for Command & Conquer are conquering 5 from both the boys and the girls.
So 5s all round for Command & Conquer, which is the first time it's happened this series at least. What was your favourite bit?
I think the fact that you can actually, as well as move like the whole army or the whole fleet, you can move each little man on his own and send him on his own little mission. I quite like that.
It's good, isn't it? Hours spent hunched over a computer screen playing strategy games can be a bit sad and lonely.
But it doesn't have to be that way, as Violet now reports from Los Angeles.
Right, let me see now. Energy chocolate bar, crisps, I think that's enough. Drink in case I get thirsty. Plasters in case I get any injuries. I think that's it. Have you guessed yet? Oh yeah, I must limber up. It's Sunday morning in LA. Some people are off playing football, others might be off playing baseball. But the game I'm about to take part in is a little unusual. For one thing, my team won't even get to meet the opposition. This is Virtual World, and we're here to play Battletech, a strategy shoot-'em-up which has teams of mech warriors from all over the universe, well, all over America, taking part in gladiatorial combat at the controls of 30-foot humanoid war machines called battlemechs. This Virtual World Centre is in Pasadena, which is just outside Los Angeles, and the team we're up against are in Walnut Creek, which is about 400 miles that away. Now you might think that if we want to play them, we've got to fly there first, but no, because from right here in Pasadena, we can play against any other team at any other Virtual World site in the US, and it's all done on the internet. The key to the whole system is this box in here. It's just a modem that links the computer in Pasadena up with the computer that runs the games in all the other sites. Now the only difference between this modem and the ones that you and I can buy is that this one can send information about 10 times more quickly. Both teams are ejected into the drop zone, and then it's kill or be killed. Of course, the idea is not to die. When you get another battle mech in your sights, the name of the pilot comes up on screen, so you can identify your own team from your enemies. That's Gypsy on the Walnut Creek team. Time to blast.
Mikey, you're too far away. You gotta come back here. Come back to the fight.
The great thing about this game is the tactics. You can help out your teammates and let them know if they're in danger. And you can also gang up on an injured opponent.
Thunderbear only has one leg.
This green one's got one leg, I'm going to get him. Yes! Yes! Whoa! Rick, where are you?
Coming in off the drop zone right now.
We keep the pod doors open to make it easier to communicate. Now the good news is I'm playing with 3 of the best players in the league.
One shot and dead I'll die.
The downside is I can't keep up. One leg. How's the team doing, Rick? Who won? Ah, looks like we lost. And this is the last bit of technical wizardry, a video phone, so you can see and talk to the team you're up against face to face. Actually, on the line now I've got Gypsy, who I reckon I hit quite a lot. Hey Gypsy, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi. Now, how did I do?
You did extremely well.
Yeah, I think so. You heard it from him. This is Violet Berlin and Gypsy reporting in Pasadena and Walnut Creek for Bad Influence at Virtual World.
By the way, girls, please don't think that these Virtual World Centres are just for spotty, geeky guys. Violet did report when she was in LA that she noticed there were loads of girls there too, so it is one for everybody.
And you can now try the Virtual World experience here in the UK. They've just set up a site at the Trocadero Centre in London. They haven't got an internet link yet, but they're hoping to have that up and running next year. So look out for a UK challenge to the Pasadena champions.
And they're about to launch a completely revamped game. We sneaked these shots out of a computer graphics show in America. It's called System 4, and the pods will have new sound units with more subwoofers and tweeters than you'd find in a box full of dogs and a crate of canaries. And there's been a very stylish overhaul on screen as well, with the blocky old-style graphics replaced with a crisp new 3D look.
System 4 is scheduled to arrive in the UK early next year, but now some more of this week's releases reviewed by our expert panel.